Hi, my name is Christine and I'm an intern at the Rosicrucian Egyptian Museum. I decided to come volunteer here because I've always loved history, and specifically, I've always loved ancient Egypt. Working in a place with over 4,000 authentic artifacts is amazing, but out of all of the incredible things we have here, I wanted to share this one with you. I know that it may look like just a box, but this is actually a coffin. If you're wondering why it looks so small, it's not because it's a child's coffin. Originally, the ancient Egyptians buried their dead in the fetal position, like they were sleeping. This coffin is from early dynastic Egypt, dating back to sometime before 3200 BCE, which means it's over 5,000 years old. Its age alone makes it incredible, but what's even more interesting about this coffin is that it dates back to before artificial mummification. We all associate ancient Egypt with mummies, right? But they didn't always mummify their dead. Originally, everyone was buried in shallow graves in the desert, along with some burial goods, like jewelry, cosmetic palettes, and pottery. The natural aridity of the desert would preserve their bodies, so mummification wasn't necessary. Mummification is just another way to achieve that same effect. We'll talk about that in a minute. Common people would have been buried directly in the sand, along with some possessions like I talked about. Wealthier Egyptians would have been buried in wooden coffins like this one. The coffin would still be buried in the sand, along with the occupants' belongings. Often, a meal would be placed in front of the deceased for them to eat in the afterlife. Later on in the period, though, burials became a little bit more elaborate, if you were a wealthy noble. Nobles started being buried under mastabas, large rectangular buildings made of mud, brick, or stone, in burial chambers cut into the rock beneath the sand. Unfortunately, there's a problem with this method. Because the nobles were no longer being buried in the sand, the desert wasn't preserving their bodies. This is a very serious problem because it's important that the spirit be able to return to the body in the afterlife, and it can't do that if the body has decayed. The ancient Egyptian solution to this challenge was mummification. It took a lot of trial and error before they came up with the finalized process that we know so well, but it's also a testament to how intelligent and resourceful they were. Even though this coffin isn't as elaborate as later coffins, it still has a lot of history. It can remind us that Egyptian civilization was around for thousands of years, and how they approached certain things, like burial practices, changed with time. It can also teach us a little bit about how customs we associate with ancient Egypt developed, which is why I think it's so amazing.